from 103.9 The Fox, brought to you by Fick Landscape Supplies. Keep your home or business safe this winter with the largest selection of bulk and bag salts. Pick up or delivery, and we're on call when you need us. Fick has seasoned firewood, too, with 2 locations. Find us at ficklandscapesupplies.com. Like us on Facebook, and happy holidays from Fick Landscape Supplies. Luigi Mangione, suspect charged with murder and the killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson, now being denied bail in Pennsylvania. He is fighting extradition to New York, meaning he will be held in Pennsylvania until his next hearing. He's facing 1 count of murder and several other charges. A cold case is heated up, with charges being filed against the 7-year-old Jason Cabello with the sexual assault and murder of 57-year-old Jeanette Wilton of Saginaw. Her body turned up in the Flint River back in 2003. Starting today, MDOT plans to close all lanes of southbound I-475 from the Flint River to Carpenter Road until next September. Starting this Saturday morning at 7, 1 lane of northbound 475 is going to be reopening. And in the meantime, you'll be detoured via I-69 and I-75. College basketball action last night for the Michigan Wolverines. They lost a nail-biter to Arkansas, 89-87 in the Jimmy V Classic. Flint Firebirds back in action tonight, skating in Sarnia against the Sting in the OHL. And to cap this one off, coming up this Saturday at Grace Emmanuel Baptist Church in Flint. Its annual food basket giveaway and health fair, an event running from 9 to 1. It will help provide families with access to health and wellness resources, and you'll be able to take advantage of screenings for hypertension and diabetes, as well as mental health support and nutritional information. And that's 5 things you should know from 103.9 The Fox. Some rain and snow, the possibility for your morning commute today that later turns to just snow off and on, with temperatures only remaining at around 34 degrees. Winds out of the west at 7 to 14, gusting to 23 miles an hour. More snow expected tonight, but with minimal accumulation as we get very cold temperatures overnight that dip down around 15. And then we expect some sunshine tomorrow mixed with the clouds, highs only near 20. Friday, plenty of sunshine, 25. Right now it's 32 in Flint, and in Saginaw, 33.
Choice of prizes from Steph on Steph's Fox Flashback a little over half hour from right now. And you want to give the gift of hearing through Professional Hearing Clinic. We're running out of time to do that. I'll have all the details for you next on 103.9 The Fox.
Okay, now we begin with this new schedule that we have that a lot of people are going to take a little time to get used to. And I might as well put it right up there and let you see it right from the get-go so that you can get yourself familiar with it. We are on Mondays, Wednesdays, and normally Fridays on this combination of YouTube and Facebook. And then on Tuesdays, it's TikTok Tuesday. Thursdays, like tomorrow, we'll be back in the Hal Hole Saloon on Instagram, where everybody knows your name. Hal Maas _news is the place to go. Follow that, and you'll be notified when we go live at around 7 a.m. Eastern Time tomorrow. Friday, we won't be on live stream at all because the station has a radiothon starting at 7 o'clock in the morning, and it's going to run all day long. And with that being the case, we're going to have a situation where my connecting device is not going to be able to be used throughout the entire morning as it is now, except for when I'm on doing news and traffic. That's it. But other than that, I have to use my phone to monitor the station and know where we are in the programming, and that means I can't be hanging out and talking to you guys like we're doing right now. Chris has now joined us on the Wednesday morning session, the 11th of December. Good morning, Chris. On National App Day. National App Day. Wonder what your favorite app is. We're using one called Prism to make sure that we're able to get people on both Facebook and YouTube. And this YouTube thing is still a whole brand new animal for us. As long as we've been doing these live streams, 9.5 years worth, we have never until the last 2 days managed to go live on YouTube. So welcome to all the crowd that's going to show up here by accident on YouTube, either live or on replay. We have Mel joining us from Summery, Australia, where it's hot, I assume, still. And over here, it's 3 minutes past 7 a.m., getting our Wednesday underway, but heck, she's almost done with hers. Cold front from the north, coming into New Mexico. We have the possibility of some snow. It's not quite going to reach here, the real heavy stuff. That's more on the That's really going to more be on the western side of the state. And then it'll kind of move over to around this area here. We won't quite feel it all over in this area. We'll get some snow and rain mix, but it's not going to be the kind of shovel-worthy stuff that the western side of Michigan is going to get. We have, and yes, it is summery in Australia, and Sheila's here, bringing what sunshine is possible to bring on a day like this. We're going to probably have more of it coming tomorrow than today, based on what the forecast is saying, but we're going to probably get a little bit of a break as far as the snowfall is concerned. It's going to stay cold. As I mentioned in the forecast, we'll be down in the mid-teens tonight, and it's going to probably feel like sub-zero when you add that wind chill, and it's going to be around -2, -3 in terms of its what you call real feel. But it's December in Michigan. We are only 10 days away from the official arrival of winter, so we should be starting to feel wintry. It was rainy today, so it's a little cooler. Okay, a little bit of a break for the folks who are now celebrating the arrival of summer. I should probably one more time let you know, because we have people that are showing up here all the time in the next few minutes here. This is it, our new schedule, which is going to take effect this week, and just with the exception of Friday. We won't be on Friday. I'll mention that one more time because of our radiothon. I won't be able to use the phone for our monitoring the station like we always do. We'll have to use it for, I have to monitor the station. I'll have to monitor the station that day. I can't use it for live streaming like I usually do. Here's Johnny and Steph.
Fox and Lizzie there, the boys are back in town. Yeah, for the holidays, 7:05 here in the foxhole right now. The college kids will be home. Should probably already are, aren't they?
I would think so.
So to them and everybody else, I issue the following warning. There are new Michigan laws allowing cameras installed in construction zones and on school buses to enforce traffic safety laws and curb violations under legislation signed by the governor on Tuesday, December 10th. Drivers barreling through work zones could end up being ticketed for violating posted speed limits even if they aren't immediately pulled over. And if you're doing any shenanigans around a school bus, similar, you can get something in the mail.
Don't you think that we should operate with the understanding that we are always on camera
That's
somewhere?
Like you telling people.
Yeah.
Tell my grandkids and my kids that all the time. So yeah, watch out. Get a heads up, and we'll remind you from time to time. But it's on you anyway.
Mm-hmm.
The coldest air of the season is headed to Michigan. It's surging through the Great Lakes on today through tomorrow, I guess. This is the coldest air mass of the season so far, accompanied by blustery winds and heavy lake-effect snow again in some areas of the state.
Mostly the western side of the state, though, right?
Well, we're going to get a little here. Yeah, it's, let me see here. Is it today? Yeah, today and tonight. A little bit of that.
Okay.
All right, we've got some snow likely this morning. A little bit this morning. Well, that should pretty much end right around now, but it's going to come back a little later as just snow. And it might even just continue as just snow. They were expecting maybe a half inch this morning. We didn't get it.
Right.
There could be less than an inch overnight tonight, they're saying, too. So this is all dependent on how strong those winds are bringing that stuff over from Lake Michigan. Tonight it'll drop down, well, I don't even know what the temperature is going to be tonight. It's like 21, I think, is the overnight low tonight. Tomorrow, partly sunny, breezy, and 20 degrees. But with the breezes, they're saying wind chills as low as 2 below tomorrow.
Oh, brr.
But the warm-up comes back on the weekend. Yeah, this is typical Michigan. 25 on Friday, 39 on Saturday, 44 on Sunday, 46 on Monday. So we've got a warming trend right up through Monday, with some rain possible on Saturday, but other than that, fairly dry conditions. Maybe a little on Monday, too, but it's too far in advance to predict.
You know what I noticed with the warmer days last weekend?
Yeah.
I have one poor fly left, still alive, beating around my house.
How did they live through all this?
I don't know.
You're feeding them, obviously.
Well, they're eating something, aren't they?
How long do flies actually live?
But those last few that will not die until we hit that hard freeze.
Yeah.
I pitched his butt outside. I got him close to the patio door, and out he went.
Good for you. Good for you. Hey, give the gift of hearing. Professional Hearing Clinic is going to give one of our neighbors.
So there he talks about his hearing aids. Somebody called him on the air. Was it last week, I think, late last week, about how Johnny's constant urging for people to go and check these hearing aids out, made him do it because he was in need of them, and he just had the best things to say about it. So occasionally those words of wisdom from Johnny that are being paid for by the people he's talking about actually do pay off in grateful customers for some people. Okay, now here comes Finland joining us now. Roop is here. Good morning, Rapsuka. Good afternoon. 2 Celsius. All right, that one is pretty easy to figure out. 2 Celsius is 36, about 35, 36 Fahrenheit. Looking good. Tina has now joined the party. Good morning to Tina. You feeling all right today? Always want to check. This is one half of the Thelma and Louise team. This is the Thelma team part. Since you're here, we want to give you a smile source. Okay? And now Mel has switched from Facebook to YouTube. All right. So we've got, let's see, Chris is on YouTube, Sheila's on YouTube, Mel is on YouTube, and now we've got, it's almost a 50-50 split here. Rapsuka and Tina are on Facebook, and that appears to be it right at the moment, as we start to build up the knowledge in people's minds that this is where we're going to be 3 days a week, normally. Not this Friday, but usually 3 days a week. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays will be on YouTube now, as well as hanging out on Facebook for the folks who only want to go there. Let's show you Chandler Bing. And this is not the Chandler Bing that you might have been used to with Friends. This is Chandler Bing, the golden doodle, who lives in Kirkland, Washington. This is your sugar high dog. Look at all of the candy and cookies and sweets he's got next to him. He's got the mints over here. He's got the over here. Look at the candy corn over here. Got that. Got some jelly beans over here. Got some candy canes over here. Looks like she, look at this, hanging out over at Tina's house. Aw. 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 Look at that. Yes, sir. There you go. And so, looks like he's celebrating a party of some. Oh, by the way, there's even a bottle of chocolate syrup over here to pour on something. I don't know what. Yeah, tomorrow is the Hal Hole Saloon. We'll be over on Instagram. This is our new schedule. I keep throwing that out there so that y'all can see it. Tomorrow's Instagram, which means the Hal Hole Saloon, where everybody knows your name. It'll start at 7 a.m. Eastern Time. That's what your brother calls your son. Seeing his name as Chandler gave him Bing as a nickname. Did he? Okay. Chandler is his name. Bing is his nickname. I get the reason, and I get the connection. That's cool. You guys a fan of Friends? Were you guys a fan of that show? I saw it, but it was not quite must-see TV for me, but I caught it a fair amount of times over the years. I'm trying to think of who my favorite character from that group was. I kind of like the guy that David Schwimmer played. I kind of thought that character was pretty cool. He was sort of level-headed, maybe as much as anybody that they had. Mel was a big fan of Friends. So then who was your favorite character? Did you have one? Show you a Christmas tree in a minute or two after we get done with the traffic, which is coming up here next. That's what we do here, news and traffic, in addition to chatting with you guys. I say that for anybody who's new to us, and there might be a few people, but for the most part, y'all know. Ross, that's the guy, Ross. That was his name. Been a potential slowdown spot all morning so far in the city of Flint. Remains that way. ML King Avenue at Pearson Road had an overnight crash there, just about the time that the morning rush was starting, and it continues to be on the board here. We have no problems at all on any of the freeways, but if you spot a slowdown, let us know at 810-230-WRSR, 810-230-9777, the number. And remember, Vehicle City traffic information is being updated for you throughout the day at classicfox.com/traffic. Be a traffic tipster right here on 103.9 The Fox.
Reading Mark Toward count of 18 inches. Gaylord might see another 6 inches. They've had so much snow already, it's ridiculous. That's how bad this is going to be. And they're saying that this up to 6 inches to like the middle of the state from the lake effect snow. And then over here, anywhere from 1 to 3 inches in different areas. We might see some snow squalls as a result of the heavier winds coming in over the warm Lake Michigan. It's going to be another, and he's calling it a 3-day event. It actually started last night in Traverse City. So it's going through Thursday, tomorrow. And not so bad here.
Right.
Okay, but if you're going to the west or if you're heading to Grand Rapids or up to Traverse City, expect that it will be substantial.
Yeah.
Get more of that like we've been getting over there. We get nailed over
They
there.
can have it.
Grand Rapids, Traverse City, and that whole western county area of the state of Michigan and borders Lake Michigan is just getting nailed already this year.
Well, God bless them for taking it before it gets to us.
Really. 103.9 The Fox.
So Tina has shuffled on over to YouTube's side. That was traffic, specially done for Rapsuka. Sheila was, and I assume that means Friends fan, but never put 2 and 2 together when she was picking boy names. We had Chandler and Cameron picked out, and once he was born, he looked like a Chandler and not a Cameron. I see. Okay. I'm not sure what the two look like when you're talking about who's a Chandler and who's a Cameron, who you can make the differentiation based on the physical features, but okay, that's cool. The other half of the Thelma and Louise team has now joined us now. Louise is here. Good morning to Linda. How are you doing? Good to see you, as always. Quick look at the new schedule. You'll see this quite a bit here in the next few weeks because we got to get people used to this. First time, this is the first week we've been using our revised, simplified, and more widespread schedule, widespread in terms of potential viewership, and better in terms of, hopefully, in terms of technical performance on the part of the broadcasts themselves, because we have primarily left the 2 T's, Twitch and Twitter, behind because of the fact that they were so difficult to make a good user experience in recent weeks. You could constantly be getting kicked off of them or freezing, and the video quality for the most part on one of them was poor. And that was the reason why we made that change. So here we are. Because I want to make sure that y'all have a clear enough picture when we show you trees that are being submitted to us by our friends, the Hal Raisers. It is, of course, you call her Linda Lou. Tina calls her Linda Lou. We found out the other day what a tight team you guys are when we had to figure out what the hell was wrong with Tina, and is she going to still be on, and is she still there? You know, Linda Lou was our connection to all of that. We've been asking for your pictures of your Christmas trees, getting ready for the new season, which of course is 2 weeks from today. This thing is fast approaching. This idea of having had Thanksgiving so close to Christmas is really kind of rushing the Christmas holiday itself to us. We're only 2 weeks away from that, and only 3 weeks away from the start of the new year. Whoa. Linda's nephew's kids call her Aunt Lulu. Aunt Lulu. Well, Aunt Lulu and everybody, this is Dan's picture of his tree. Let's see it. And I wish I could tell you which Dan this was. We have more than one, of course, who visits us on a regular basis. I think it's one of them, but I'm not sure, because one of the things that's happening is when I ask you guys to send me your email pictures, such as you've done here, it's a good thing for you to also identify who you are, because I've had a couple of them come in where I don't recognize the emails. Of course, when you show up here on our live streams, whichever one it is, because some of you carry more than one name depending on the location that we come to, we know those, but we don't a lot of times know what your email address is. And so when you come to me and I see the email and I don't recognize it, and I don't have an accompanying, oh, hey, I am so-and-so from the live stream, I can't identify properly who it is. So I don't know which Dan this is. Might be American Dan, might be Canadian Dan, might be a different Dan, I don't know. But anyways, a great tree. Right? And of course, if you'd like to send us a tree picture, right there is the address to do it. That's the email. That is the email address to send me a picture of your tree or your lights or For that matter, complaints or questions or anything. That's what we do with that email. But that was it, and we thank Dan, whichever one it is, for sending us the picture of that Christmas tree. It was a real nice one. Real nice one. Back to Johnny and Steph on the air, several miles to my south in the main studio on 103.9 The Fox, like he'll say.
103.9 The Fox.
See?
Dead or alive? Bon Jovi for you at 7:19 here in the Fox. So I need your help. Yes, go ahead.
Speaking of which, have you ever wondered, as you and I both hack our lungs out, does phlegm have calories?
Oh, you're bringing this up during breakfast.
Yes. Think about it. Does phlegm have calories?
I have no clue. And clearly I don't care about calories because I eat everything.
I know, because you're a man and yeah, you're just blessed that way genetically. But I am proud, if you've gained a few pounds and you've had the cold, it's not the bag of Lay's chips you had on the couch while you recuperated. Phlegm actually has an average person expelling an average amount of phlegm.
Not expelling it.
Right. Phlegm has 200 calories.
If you don't expel it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you swallow it.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say that, but okay.
That's what she never. Oh.
Yeah, no.
Yo, you took it there, didn't you?
No, I didn't take it there. I was avoiding it. You're the one that jumped right in. Holy moly. See, this is how guys get blamed for everything. I have a moral dilemma. I need you to help me.
You want to trust me with the moral dilemma?
It's a Christmas shopping moral. I was wondering what you would do. I ordered a $50 present for my wife from a brand at Nordstrom. The gift came, and when I unwrapped it, it had the right label with my name and the right item listed on the label, but inside was not what I ordered. Instead of a $50 gift, it was a $350 purse.
Oh.
So, do I forget about my item and keep the purse and give that to her for a gift for Christmas, or do I call them and tell them what happened? I don't want bad karma.
Would that be like a Coach purse?
I'm kind of a believer that everybody knows it. You know, the good Lord is watching you at all times.
I
Like
know.
Santa Claus is watching, but it's also a really nice purse.
Yeah, back this light down. It's a little bit too hot.
I know you're an expert at it. Because
I don't know why it's
Steph
doing
is
that.
a purse collector, as is my wife.
I love purses.
My wife usually buys them at estate sales, though.
Yeah?
She doesn't go out and pay the big buck for them.
I was showing my daughter I have a closet dedicated to purses.
Oh, really?
And she was horrified. She's like, "Oh my God!
How
How
many-
many purses do you need?"
Well, yeah, I would probably ask the same
Shut
question.
up.
Yeah.
Why would you need more than one?
On one hand, I would say, you know what? Nordstrom's is fine. They price these things kind of with that formula in mind. It's kind of, but it's a nice purse.
Yeah, I just don't know. No,
You know what?
I'll call them.
I
It's
think
just
I
the way
would
I
call
am.
too.
It's just the way I am. I don't want to eat bad karma.
And you know what? 9 times out of 10, they tell you to keep the purse with their compliments.
Yeah, that is something that happens a lot these
Yeah, it
days.
is. It is.
Oh,
So what?
speaking of which, have you been taken in by the tease of these Amazon mystery boxes that are all over the internet and
You
Facebook?
told me about them. We talked about them a couple of weeks ago.
So I was thinking, what a cool idea to just get one of those boxes, one of the $50 boxes or something
Yeah.
for each of the kids and have them have fun opening it and seeing what's inside.
But you've seen the reviews, haven't
So
you?
I did some review because I'm really becoming diligent about getting customer reviews on things. So I reviewed that, and the review said, "Oh no, man, stay away. It's good. It's a ripoff." Well, I had to prove it to myself, so I bought the $26.99 version of the mystery box.
Yeah.
You pay $6 for shipping, so it was like $33. I got it in the mail. It is a cheap knockoff that you would get out of one of those cranes, one of those toy cranes of a health watch. It's just it's probably a $5 health watch.
Oh, no.
And I paid $32 for it.
Well, congratulations.
So I wanted to just test it, and that was the point. And I thought, well, I'll get a few stupid things and just throw them in somebody's stocking. Now
Like
I have no
mine.
idea. What's that?
Like mine, right?
Like your stocking?
Yeah.
Yeah, we could do that. We'll just throw it in your stocking. There you go. That's probably what we'll do.
Problem solved.
Yeah. So that's all I got. And it was, like I said, it was a cheap something you'd probably win at a carnival for
Okay.
throwing a ring over a 2x4.
Yeah,
You know,
so
one
don't
of those things
waste-
or a ping pong ball, and
Yeah.
it was that kind of a gift.
Don't waste the money.
Or that kind of an item anyway. Yeah, no, don't waste your money on those things because those are not, they make it look like it's coming from Amazon. It's not coming
It's
from
not,
Amazon at all.
Yeah.
It's 7:24.
The Foxhole Morning Show, 103.9 The Fox, broadcasting from the Hurley Medical Center studios.
Rapsuka wants the mystery box. Like that, I'll bet. We were discussing over on TikTok yesterday the fact that we are in the process of recapping the year. This always happens where we get to the end of the year and you start to look for the highlight events or elements that made up the year just about done. So for 2K24, we're looking at things like the color of the year, which turns out to be, according to Pantone, Mocha Mousse. We find out that the athlete of the year, Time Magazine's athlete of the year, is Caitlin Clark. Well-deserved honor for her, who turned the WNBA into a cash cow by herself with her rookie year, even though her team did not do all that well early on and got knocked out of the playoffs real early. She still managed to make everybody want to watch the league. Sibo has joined us now. Good morning, Sibo, who's over on Facebook for those who are on YouTube and don't see him. He's over there right now and transferred over. He's our transfer from Nevada. It's like a college football player. Every time you say a name, this is a transfer from fill in the blank. The Oxford Dictionary decided that its word of the year would actually be more like a phrase of the year, and it's brain rot, which has to do with mindlessly scrolling social media. That's what it turns into, is brain rot. And now we find out from the Merriam-Webster dictionary that the word of the year, we should have consulted with Linda on this one, Linda Liu on this one. But Merriam-Webster decided that its word of the year was going to be polarization. Polarization. And owing to this past year's election, saying that how things are moving more to the extremes rather than to the center, that's really more the definition this year of polarization, which normally just means division. Dale here. Good morning, Arizona. Welcome to you to our gathering that happens every now, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on YouTube and on Facebook. Dale's over on YouTube right now. This is the schedule going forward. Tomorrow we'll be on Instagram, which of course means we'll be in the Hal Hole Saloon where everybody knows your name. So bring your drink order. We might even be able to come up with a light snack for you and let you. Well, we're a little early for this, but I will tell you that we still do have a problem at MLK Avenue at Pearson Road in Flint. That is our one crash point that we're still looking at. And it looks like we also have disabled vehicles stuck on the railroad tracks, Western Road at Leith Street in Flint. So that's also something to keep an eye out for. And if you spot a traffic problem elsewhere, let us know at 810-230-WRSR. That is 810-230-9777. That Vehicle City traffic information updated at classicfox.com/traffic throughout the day. Remember that, be a traffic tipster on 103.9 The Fox.
The Foxhole Morning Show on 103.9 The Fox. Steph's Fox Flashback.
All right, he would have netted unprecedented profits from a proposed reunion tour after a one-time only show that his band performed at the O2 Arena in London in 2007, but he turned it down to tour in support of his solo album, Raising Sand, instead. He's also turned down lucrative offers to write his autobiography or memoir, but he has no interest in that project either. He cherishes his memories, he says, but he has no interest in sharing them. That's too bad. It would have been quite the story, I think. Who is this rock star with too much money already? Let's get into it from his 1983 album, The Principle of Moments. It's Robert Plant with In the Mood on 103.9 The Fox.
Okay, I'm going to try something with this light because it's just bugging me, the fact that it's showing up so hot here. Turn it off for just a second. Okay, So that looks weird, doesn't it? Okay. Now I'm going to see if when I turn it back on, it's going to create the same effect. Because it normally doesn't. I don't know what's going on today with it. Yeah, it's still kind of hot. Weird. Anyway, Dale's coming up on a year being here as of February. All right, so the question must then be asked, why did you come here? What brought you here in the first place, Dale? Because we know that a lot of people show up here by accident. And now since we're part of this YouTube thing, we've never been live on YouTube until 2 days ago. This is now becoming our second live YouTube broadcast in the last 3 days. So we're going to expect to see some people who would have never come here before because they didn't realize that that's an option for them. We've been on here 9.5 years, but never there. And so we wonder what brings you here, and when you get here by accident, what makes you stay? You know? Rapsuka's been here since 16. That's how far back Finland goes with us. We've been an international phenomenon for a long time, and Rapsuka is one of the 5-star reasons why. I don't know why he continues to stay here from Finland, but it's great that he's here, that he managed to find something international that would entertain him, as you guys have done. Sibo has moved from Twitch on Fridays to YouTube full-time on Friday. That's true. Now, this Friday, we won't be on at all. I want to caution you once again. We are on, normally, a regular week would be these days. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday will be on YouTube and Facebook. All those, 1, 2, 3, Monday, to Wednesday, Friday. And then Tuesday's TikTok Tuesday. Thursday, we're back in the Hal Hole Saloon, where everybody knows your name. That's on Instagram. That's tomorrow. Friday, we won't be on at all this week because of the radiothon that's going on, so I'll have to be connected to my phone rather than to the station through my connector. They're using one of those too, and when they use it, I can't use mine. So I have to use my phone to monitor the station, which means that's why we won't be on Friday doing any live stream. But normally on Fridays, that's where we will be. We have decided to jettison both Twitch and Twitter. Phenomenon is also a good word, says Linda, keeper of the word. Time flies when we are having fun, so it's hard to believe that people, many of you, have been here as long as you have. I mean, I go back and I talked about this several weeks ago when we ran across, thanks to one of the viewers, and it was a while back, so I don't even remember which viewer it was, that found us an old, I think it was Jeff from Arizona who did that, as I think about it now, who found us an old bit of footage from our Periscope days, which are, boy, that is a treasure. That is a rare treasure if anybody finds those. Anything that's from Periscope that's still available, that you could still watch. But we were able to do it one time, and it came from 2K17, a broadcast that year. Everything looked different. The entire studio looked completely different then. We were on a bar stool type of seat. We didn't have any of the trappings that we have now. But we also got DPR and Camp Nerd that very same day for the very first time. It was crazy to see. That happened to be the one that both of those guys showed up for the very first time, and they stayed with us ever since. So they've been 7-year veterans of us. There's another good one. See, Linda's finding all kinds of bankable words here. Okay, Tina wants to know, Rapsuka, is that why you're drinking is so much Fireball? Is because you keep watching us for so long? He's the one who keeps ordering the hard stuff. A lot of you guys want to just wake up, so you'll order coffee, so we make sure we have a 55-gallon drum of that strong stuff going. That we try to update like Tim Hortons does every 20 minutes, because start a new pot, because that's what we want. That's kind of like the draw over there, is the fact that coffee's always fresh, you know. Dale found us on TikTok FYP, which sometimes happens, and then people just stay here once they see what weirdness can happen from here. Here now is Steph's Fox flashback.
Robert Plant from his 1983 solo album, The Principle of Moments. There is In the Mood. I love that song.
Good song.
It is. He did so much good solo stuff. But the Led Zeppelin, really?
Really?
Yeah, for sure. Very talented guy. With the trivia question, the phone number that you will need is 810-230-9777. As always, I invite you to send along requests For Steph's Fox Flashback to Steph at ClassicFox.com. You are playing for a plethora of prizes this morning. We've got gift certificates for Jester's Lounge. We've got a $25 gift card to Red Wing Shoes of Flint. We have pairs of tickets to see George Thorogood up at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. That show in February 15th to be exact. Here is the trivia question. Robert has made 2 albums with a long-term lady love. That's what he calls her. I love that. His lady love. Raising Sand was the first album in 2007, and Raise the Roof was released in 2021. What's her name?
Oh, they hung
What's
up.
her name?
We had people calling, but they hung up. These are 2 of my favorite albums, by the
Yeah.
way. 810-230-9777 if you think you know.
Good morning, the Fox. Do you have an answer?
Yeah, Alison Krauss.
Yes, you are absolutely right. Nicely done. Do you own either album?
Yes, I have both of them.
Really?
Yes,
Good for
I
you.
do.
Good for
Yeah.
you. I know that. Go ahead.
Do it all the time.
Yeah, both very talented people. And I love that he calls her his lady love.
I didn't realize that,
Awesome,
but I just
yes.
thought they were great singing partners.
Yeah, true partners, though, in every sense of the word. Who are we talking to this morning?
My name is Phil.
I'm sorry?
Phil?
Phil, all right. Congratulations, Phil. Did you hear your choices of prizes here this morning?
I took the George Thorogood ticket.
All right, those have your name on them now, Phil. You hang on tight. We'll get some info off the air. But who just took you up with those tickets to see George Thorogood this morning?
Steph, Johnny, and 103.9 to 5.
Perfect.
All right, hey.
Well, there you go. No pressure there for him to perform, right? Haven't had a good left in a while. We need the Book of Envelopes back. Yeah, maybe that's what we need, is the Book of Envelopes. That seemed to be a pretty popular time of our lives here on this live stream. The Book of Envelopes. Let's see if I can get another, because I didn't keep that. I got to probably go and try to acquire another copy of it. I think it's still out there available somewhere. Amazon would have it. Would try it. That was an uncomfortable time also in many respects to get through because it was so popular. You know, we run afoul of a lot of people when we're on this live stream, as you know. We even did that. What was it? Oh, TikTok. That's what it was. We were on TikTok last week and got we didn't get completely shut down, but we had the door closed behind the people that were already in the room is kind of what happened. Because a lot of you weren't on TikTok with us that day, and so didn't realize that this had happened. But we have, Seba already has, well, still has the Sal Razor's t-shirt, attaboy. I should probably at some point call up, because I don't think you posed for a picture for us. We have a collection of some of the people who had those t-shirts, and we put a conglomeration together of pictures of the people who had them, our supermodels that had them and were modeling them for us. I should try to call that up. I don't know if I have it immediately available here, but we can try to find it in the future. I'm trying to think if any of the people who, the strange thing is that the people, all who were wearing them, I don't think any one of them are with us now. I said to you a long time ago that eventually everybody leaves. They say they won't, but they do. And every single one, there's I think 5 of them who were wearing those t-shirts. One of them was in Japan, one of them was in Sweden, and the rest of them were all here. And I don't think any one of them are watching us anymore, at least not on any kind of a regular basis at all. Okay, now we have another word, conglomeration. We're going an entire new year full of bankable words here. We're starting to pile them up. So, did yours fit, by the way, Sibo? I was always a little concerned about that because all of the ones that we thought were going to fit the most went the fastest. And all we were left with were some small-sized ones. That's all we had at the end. We didn't have any, like XLs, for example. The Ls, the XLs, those things went in a hurry. A lot of the left people left Linda Lou. Yeah, I mean, amazing that you guys are still here, because you, again, are some of the longest standing. We had Fitzy the other day, but he's busy teaching fifth graders, so he's not able to show up as often as he used to. Saw Wayfinder the other day. He popped in. But as I started to say about what happened on TikTok, is we had 500 and some odd viewers that were watching it, and then I happened to pull up my bag of treats that I used to, I'm not even going to show it now because I don't know what that would do, but the bag of treats that I use that are basically Jacko's cocaine and heroin. That's what gets him to do anything I want him to do.
Yeah, we're sitting at 34 degrees, and that's where we're going to sit all day with a chance for snow throughout the day as well, by the way. Cloudy, breezy otherwise. Maybe a half inch of snow today, maybe a little less than an inch overnight tonight under breezy conditions as well. Tomorrow, partly sunny, breezy, and 20 with low wind chills. Things warm up, though, over Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. In my white robe.
Be back in the 40s by Monday, Fahrenheit. And then as soon as I showed that bag, I got a warning flashing on my screen saying something about we violated terms of usage on TikTok, da-da-da-da-da. There's a possibility we're going to get suspended, whatever it was. And I can't even remember what that was. But at any rate, the final total of people that watched us was less than 600 for the day, which is like less than half of what we normally have. We're normally up in the 2,000, 3,000 viewer range for a broadcast on TikTok every day, every time that we're on there. And this one stopped at a little over 500 some. So what I could figure is that the first 500 or so that got in there were allowed to stay, and then they blocked off the rest of the broadcast from anybody new coming in for the rest of that broadcast. Yesterday's was a normal one, but that one on Tuesday last week was interrupted by me showing this thing on screen, this bag of his treats. Because it's, it's a commercial brand and everything like that kind of thing. I heard from Beep Beep lately. No, I have not. I have not. And she is one of our supermodels who were in that group of 5 that we had a collective picture of. And she was one of the ones that, she definitely wanted. Well, she was the longest standing, and we still consider her to be the senior member of the group, even though we haven't seen her in a while. She had gotten really busy, and of course, Lil Beep has gotten bigger. I think Lil Beep is probably, 11, 12 years old now. And when she first started with us, he was just a toddler. And now he's up there. So she's got to chase after him. And, of course, she also was working. And, of course, there hasn't been a day that went by, as long as she's been with us, there has never been a day that's gone by that she wasn't suffering some kind of debilitating back issue. That has been a lifelong problem with her that we've constantly followed. And at last word, which was a while back, she was looking at her third surgery for that. Third, major surgery for that. So I don't know how that's happened, and maybe we'll get her back here at some point. That'd be cool. I'd like to get some of the people back that we haven't had in a while, because that made it a fun group, and that was back again in the Periscope days. Pre-COVID, we had a huge group of wild people who went any direction. Linda wants to turn left at some point during these broadcasts. We were turning left every day. We were sliding into the ditch on a regular basis with that group. Y'all remember that. Things were just falling off the table. Kind of like engagement rings will do from time to time. This happened in Cleveland. We had a situation here where there was a photo op was happening. This is in Cleveland now. Nikki Mack and Corey Barabitsky were having photos taken by a lady named Emily Ruth at the Cultural Gardens and University Circle. And this mishap occurred. She, the blushing bride-to-be, Nikki, found that there was something on the back of Corey's pants, and so she called his attention to it, and then she went to brush that off of the back of his pants, whatever it was, and the ring that she had on, that they hadn't yet sized, so it was way too big, slipped off and fell into a nearby sewer. Imagine the panic on the faces of all involved here. So when that ring fell into the sewer drain, firefighters were called, and it took a bunch of them to be able to open the sewer and retrieve that item. And while it was going on, they were taking a ton of pictures of this rescue mission to gather the engagement ring back for Nikki Mack. You know, Dale, we're out of those shirts now. And 3 triple XL, we only had one made, and that was for Beep Beep. And that was specially made specifically because she was the senior member of the group. The best that we could do, the largest we had was XL, and those things went like that. Boom. The only thing that was left was some smalls.
103.9 Fox.
We only had really several dozen of those to start with, and those turned out to be very popular when we had them on. They were also sponsored at the time by our friend, and at the time was his business, Packer Fan, who was still in the HVAC business at that point and was sponsoring those shirts. His logo was on the back of them. He no longer does that. He's working on the railroad all the live long day these days. Sold his business to somebody else. And so if we were going to do the revival of the T-shirts, we would have to find ourselves a new sponsor. Which we might do. I'm not going to rule that out. But before we do that, we have to build the group up back again to a size that made it worthwhile to do that business venture. Because it's, on one end, it's a business venture, and on the other end, we had a couple of local animal welfare groups who were being helped. And primarily, that was the reason that we even did that project. We gained a whole lot of followers. We gained a lot of popularity and interest from people who wanted those shirts. And we had both of the animal welfare organizations in this area, Genesee County, Michigan, where Flint's located, the Animal Control Office and the Humane Society group, both, we split the proceeds from what we got from those shirts and gave half to each of those groups. And that worked out very, very well for them, and it worked out very, very well for the animals. So we were all happy about that. And that was why we did the thing in the first place. It wasn't like we were making any money off of it. I mean, we like the idea of having people out there wearing those Hal Razors T-shirts. That was kind of a cool little deal. So we might, if we can get enough people back in the fold and be with us on a regular basis, we might revive that whole idea of having some type of, and it wouldn't necessarily just be T-shirts. We might be able to come up with some other merch. We had for a short time some coffee cups, but that was really more geared toward my art thing than it was toward the Hal Razors group. And speaking of the art thing, I'm working on another project which is going to be used as a Christmas gift for somebody. This is not the first year we've done it, but it's the first year that I've done more than one for the same Christmas. Just got finished with one recently. I will show that to you after Christmas, but just in case the person for whom that gift is intended or is watching us at some point, I want to make sure that that picture is not seen in advance, because Christmas is only 2 weeks from today, so that gift is going to be given then. And then I've got one more that's in the works we're doing right now. That's going to be finished by the end of this week, and then that's going to be shipped off, and then that's also going to be used as a Christmas gift. So just something to keep in mind for when you get into next year and there are certain occasions that come up, special occasions, and you can't think of something to give that special person. Well, maybe you can think about that as an option. Just thought we would bring that up to you. And if you want to give art, you can do like this guy did. We went back in the Periscope days, and you remember we had this piece of art that was a big thing at the time, which was basically a canvas with a banana taped to it, duct taped to it. And that thing went for an enormous amount of money. It was resold. It went to $6.2 million for this banana taped to a canvas. More on that coming up in a minute here.
What NFL player can't wait to take on the Lions? We'll tell you that story coming up here in just a little bit.
Is he from what team is he from?
I'll tell you that.
Seriously, not even a hint.
It's called a tease. We'll tell you in a few minutes, within 10 minutes.
Okay, all right.
Here's the hint. I give him this hint. Is it a pronounceable name?
Half the names in the National Football League aren't pronounceable anymore. But, this one is very pronounceable.
Okay,
All right?
all right.
Good old American name.
Good old American name, huh?
Those are disappearing, but yeah. Good old American name. All right, 7:49. We'll get to that coming up.
Before your commute, the latest vehicle city traffic anytime 24/7.
Well, we did something like that, if you remember, Linda Lou. We followed that story up because it was so bizarre. The fact that somebody would pay that kind of money. First of all, that somebody would have the creativeness to be able to make that into a work of art. Art is in the eye of the beholder anyway, unlike the kind that I do. With the kind I do, as you've seen on the art wall, it either looks like the subject or it doesn't. So it's either good or bad from that standpoint. But with most other art, the abstract type, it's all in the eye of the beholder. So somebody who thinks that banana taped to canvas is just a meal, for somebody else, it is a wonderfully shrewd piece of art. That's why somebody paid $6.2 million for it this time when it was resold. Whereupon, the guy who got it took the banana from the canvas and ate it. This is what happens. My art, that kind of thing doesn't happen because there's nothing taped to it, although that doesn't mean that we didn't do something. Back in the day when this was a story and we were still on scope, I then created a piece of art that we used, which involved a Wayfinder pen, and I think we also put a banana on and a couple of other weird items that we put on there, and we had Hal razors that were bidding on it at auction, and I remember who bought it. And again, we were giving the money to animal welfare. That was what we did then. So you can make art out of pretty much anything. You really can. Do some Jackson Pollock stuff. Jackson Pollock stuff. Give me an example of something from, because I'm not familiar with that. Jackson Pollock stuff. I'm not sure what that is. Get Jacko to help. I could have him press his paws onto the surface of a canvas, make that work. Oh, paint splatter. That's what that is. Okay. That works. Although sometimes that turns into a Rorschach test, doesn't it? If you do those. Boy, joining us now on Facebook, longtime friend of mine, long time ago, was a fellow broadcaster on our hockey game broadcasts. Long time ago, was a very well-known radio personality in this market, and he's joining us right now from Georgia. I assume that's where you still are, right, Van? Welcome. And may I also say, and this is pretty special, I do a 1 beer a year routine, as you guys know. That's pretty much my alcohol intake for the year. And the last time I had a beer with anybody was this dude, Van. Welcome. And it was a Canadian beer at that, as I recall. In other words, look at this. Linda's pouring up. She's getting her own dictionary together here. Rorschach. He's still in Macon. He's still making it in Macon. Van Vannywalker. Welcome, Van. Good morning. What do they call the team now? They used to, once upon a time, they got a baseball team over there that they used to call the Macon Whoopies. And it seems to me, Van, and you can correct me if I'm incorrect on this one, but I think I've got this one, that when they were still the Macon Whoopies, didn't they have a special night where they were selling tickets in a form where only male ticket holders could get maybe the odd numbered seats, and there had to be a female in the even numbered seats, or possibly vice versa, but it was any male, female. It was the idea of Macon Whoopie being the promotion of that team at that time. And Rapsuka tells us that Flint has baseball also. Now, the hockey team is called the Macon Mayhem. I like that. The hockey team in Macon, Georgia is called the Macon Mayhem. That's awesome. I like that one. That's good. Finland has baseball also, Rob Suka points out. When is it not snowing? And I guess when I think of Finland, Rob Suka, I'm thinking it's snowing or icy all the time. Obviously incorrect. Like it's the popular belief is that it rains in Seattle all the time here in the United States, Seattle, Washington, which is not true. One of our earliest Hal raisers back in the old Periscope days, I keep referring to that because there was so much that we had from that material wise. And she mentioned to us, because she was living there at the time, she says that's the biggest myth in the world, that it does nothing but rain in Seattle. It does rain, but it's not just a constant deluge over here. Linda Lou, Tina could not have spelled that word that you just hauled out of the closet there, Rorschach? But you have no snow yet. Really? Okay, when do you start getting it? Rob Suka, when do you start getting? He's in YouTube territory, by the way, for those who don't see his comments. At what point do you start getting snow? Because I'm thinking it's a year-round thing for you, and obviously that's incorrect. It's kind of like the Upper Peninsula in Michigan. We think that it's snow all the time, but in July, it's actually sunny and bright sometimes. How's training going with Psycho Dog, asks Dale. It's actually doing much better. He's inching toward where we want him to be. It's a long process, and it's got a ways to go. But at least we've got him silent in the car. That was a big, big mountain to climb when we did that. He's not barking at people, animals, or air from the car these days because I'm putting treats and a little bit of peanut butter on a couple of these Kong toys for him in the back seat. So he spends his entire trip up to Birch Run lying down, playing around with, and eating whatever comes out of that. So he doesn't get a chance to even see potential trigger stuff around him. And that part's good. Been really, really good. Deluge. Here comes another word. Look at this. Again, a dictionary is being created before our eyes. Van is at work. He's got to run. Just want to say hi. Glad to see you, Van. And once again, stop by whenever you get a chance because here's our schedule. All right, take a look at it and then get to work. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. We're on YouTube and Facebook. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Not this Friday because station's got a radiothon, so I got to use the station. At least I got to use to monitor the station, my phone, instead of talking to you guys. Tuesdays, we're on TikTok. Thursdays on Instagram. And that's our schedule. Right there? Okay. Have yourself a great day at work. Thanks for stopping by. We'll have another beer at some point whenever you get over to Michigan again. Back to the air, Johnny and Steph.
Shot the sheriff. You did, Derek. I did.
But not the deputy.
No.
Just so that we're clear.
Hey, all right, so you might even be able to guess by the quote that I'm going to give you here in a minute, but this is what they call bulletin board material for the Lions locker room. All right. You sit here. I don't like it, but I'm not liking all the Detroit talk right now.
Making bacon. That's it.
Over and over, so I'm just over them. I'm over Green Bay, too. But you know, Detroit, they're just talking about them too much, and I'm just over that as well. Yeah, the Lions and this team are set to meet in Week 18. Yes, it's the Vikings. And it's Byron Murphy, who is a quarterback for the Vikings. He was watching the Thursday night football game at Ford Field and not pleased with the results when the Lions won 34-31 over the Packers. That improved the Lions' course to 12-1 and extended their win streak to 11 games. Both of those are franchise bests. And Detroit also clinched that playoff berth with the victory. And he told this radio station, I guess it looks like it might be Texas, but anyway, he said Detroit came away with the win. I don't like it. The win also, of course, saw the Lions improve to 4-0 in the NFC North, eliminating the Packers from contention for the division title and dealing a blow to the Vikings' chances. So,
I would say get over it, Green Bay.
well, yeah, it's all of it, but this one is Byron Murphy in particular, the cornerback, who's saying all this stuff. In addition to having the NFL's best record, the Lions are now the odds-on favorite to win the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl in New Orleans. They are the odds-on favorite now, which is really cool because at the beginning of the year they weren't, and I bet them at the beginning of the year.
You did,
when
yes.
The odds were much better. Detroit ranks second in total offense, averaging 347.5 yards a game and leading the league in scoring with 32.1 points per game, although not recently. It probably won't be that widespread or high scoring when we've got the games that we've got coming up. We've got the Bills first. Well, although the Bills' defense really hasn't been doing it, has it, Hal? I don't think they have.
Yeah. The idea of the Lions being the odds-on favorite, I'm not real comfortable with that.
Nor am I.
Because expectation always breeds disappointment.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't always breed disappointment, I don't
In my life, it always has.
Ask the people in Boston about that. They win everything.
Hal, I'm right there with you, buddy.
Usually that expectation breeds dissatisfaction, and disappointment comes on honeymoon night.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's really kind of like the whole basis for the low expectations Mondays.
Exactly.
You got that right. Head to the Hal hole now for all the real news. Here's Hal Maas.
5 things you should know from 103.9 The Fox, brought to you by Fick Landscape Supplies. Keep your home or business safe this winter with the largest selection of bulk and bag salt. Pick up or delivery, and we're on call when you need us. Fick has seasoned firewood, too, with 2 locations. Find us at ficklandscapesupplies.com. Like us on Facebook, and happy holidays from Fick Landscape Supplies. Luigi Mangione, suspect charged with murder in the killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson, is now being denied bail in Pennsylvania. He is fighting extradition to New York, meaning he'll be held in Pennsylvania till his next hearing. Mangione facing 1 count of murder, 2 of second-degree criminal possession of a weapon, 1 count of second-degree possession of a forged document, and 1 of third-degree criminal possession of a firearm. Saginaw County Commissioner was the target of censure at yesterday's special meeting, with reports saying that Richard Spitzer was reprimanded for an incident that surfaced after the November elections. That was when Spitzer briefly had posted on social media showing the photo of a woman with the name Amaya Bradley, whom he thought was the woman who had just won election as a Saginaw Township trustee, only to find out the provocative photo posted was of a different woman with the same name. Legislation that would significantly raise weekly unemployment benefits here in Michigan was approved by lawmakers in Lansing. It is now headed to Governor Whitmer's desk. MLive reporting that bill would increase the maximum unemployment benefits one could collect from the current $362 a week to $614 a week by 2K27, and restore the maximum number of weeks that a person could collect unemployment from the current 20 weeks to 26 weeks. College basketball action last night. Michigan lost a nail-biter to Arkansas. Final was 89-87 in the Jimmy V Classic. While on the ice, the Flint Firebirds skate in Sarnia tonight. That'll be against the Sting. And to cap this one off, no big winners in Mega Millions last night. That'll push the jackpot for Friday's drawing to $670 million. That's 5 things you should know from 103.9 The Fox.
103.9 The Fox.
Force weather.
And right now, looking at some rain and snow during the morning commute that backs off and changes to just snow off and on today. Temperatures only remaining at around 34 degrees. Winds out of the west at 7 to 14. They'll gust to around 23 miles an hour. More snow expected tonight, but with minimal accumulation. Very cold temperatures overnight, down around 15. We expect some sunshine tomorrow mixed with the clouds, and highs only near 20. And then Friday, a real slow warm-up starts. Plenty of sunshine, 25 to close out our work week. Right now, 32 in Flint, and in Saginaw, 33.
Early Medical Center Studios. This is the Fox Home Morning Show. Tony Morris, Owasso.
Flint's Classic Rock Authority.
103.9 The Fox.
Yeah, we got an 80s night coming to Michigan with Toto, Men at Work, and Christopher Cross at Pine Knob in Clarkston. On August 11th, which happens to be my 45th anniversary of broadcasting in Michigan. by the
Oh,
way.
wow, there you go.
But August 11th, tickets for the concert go on sale this Friday at 10 a.m. And, of course, we're talking about Toto, Men at Work, and Christopher Cross. I guess they have to call this the Yacht Rock concert.
And they are. Yes, they are.
80s night coming to Michigan.
Yeah, hang on. I got the warning that my battery power is a little low, so let me switch that over so that I can get the charger connected back the way it should be again. Hold on. Where the hell is this? There we go. I got a different holder for my different case for my phone, and it's hard to get the feel of it because the other one has been so soft for so long. I got a harder case on it to be a little more protective of it, and sometimes trying to find the daggone hole to put the charger in is crazy. All right, let's see. Tomorrow, party day as far as Linda Lou is concerned. Yeah, that's true. Got another word, bankable. It's provocative. We've got a smile source for you. It's the face of Chandler Bing. Not from Friends, but from, well, in this case, Kirkland, Washington. It's a golden doodle with a sweet tooth. I'm going to get it over here so that you can see, because the light is, for whatever reason, that light is just, seems exceptionally bright today. It's the same damn light we always use, but today it's got a more bright effect than it should have. The iris on this camera is wide open, it looks like. Anyway, here's Chandler Bing. Look at this. We've got a chocolate syrup bottle over here. We've got candy canes. We've got jelly beans. We've got, looks like mints. We've got, hey, candy corn. Right there. Right there. Candy canes. Right there. And Chandler Bing with a party hat. Talking about parties, he's having one right now. Every dog has his day, and Chandler Bing has his day. From the 365 Dogs calendar, which is now down to the final few pages, and so far no Jacko. I don't know if it's going to happen or not. I'm getting nervous. Guys, thank you very much for your attendance and your attention. And get ready to shuffle over to Instagram tomorrow for a trip to the Hal Hole Saloon, where everybody knows your name. Have your drink order ready to go. We pretty much know what direction some people are going to go tomorrow, because Rapsuka never orders anything but Fireball. But we're going to find out what happens tomorrow. If you need coffee, we'll have that. If you need something a little more kick to it, we'll have that. Whatever it is, maybe even a light snack for you as well, and you can pour out your troubles to your friendly neighborhood barkeep and your friendly neighborhood Hal Razor pals. That's coming up tomorrow morning on Instagram at @HalMaas_news. So make sure that you follow us if you haven't already done that, so that you are notified when we go live. Make sure that you download that mobile app if you haven't yet done that. It's 103.9 The Fox in Flint. I'll show you the logo that you're looking for when we wrap things up here. It's hump day, so of course act accordingly, and come back and join your friends, the Hal Raisers, tomorrow morning on Instagram for what will be our final live stream of this week, since we won't do on Friday. So we look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Okay?